Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to specifically focus on relationships. And before we get into today's video, just remember that life is not happening to you, but happening through you. When you become the change you seek to experience, you're going to experience that change everywhere you go. And you are showing the world how to treat you based on what you believe and feel about yourself. In today's video, we're going to be talking about trust, because it is such an important element to success, especially in relationships. And I'm going to go at it from the scope that you have to be willing to give what you want to receive before you receive it. Okay, now you could say that's a limitation. You could say that it doesn't have to be that way. But at least in my experience, when it comes to shifting your relationships and taking potentially negative situations and turning them into a positive situation, you have to be able to sift through the emotions, really observe the story that you've built in your mind, and decide what it is that you want, and then fearlessly show up as that solution, which is going to require you to trust. But what does that actually mean? So this video is going to be more for dealing with circumstances that do not look that favorable, and how to adopt a mindset that's going to really take you to the other side in the path of least resistance and in the fastest fashion. So whenever you find yourself in difficult circumstances and you're applying this mindset work, so you have your self-image and your self-concept in alignment. So you're seeing yourself as good, worthy, deserving, joyful, kind, caring, compassionate, as that version of yourself that has the relationship that you desire. When things start to unfold, like I've been saying in previous videos, you're going to need to persist. And how difficult that persisting is really dependent on how you're viewing things and how you're responding to things, because it's all perception based. So this is where your beliefs and your self-concept really matters, because I could be in circumstances but have a totally relaxed, non-reactive, positive outlook on the situation to where it doesn't disrupt me internally and I feel very knowing and I don't really worry about it. Or I could be in circumstances and be perceiving it as the end of the world, as impossible, as like irreparable, and be extremely emotionally distraught by that and feeling defeated. And what makes the difference between those two perceptions? Well, in my opinion, the difference between those two perceptions of your reality are going to come from your beliefs and the level of trust that you have in yourself and your ability to achieve what it is that you want, but also in the people around you. So let's say you're in a circumstance where you're feeling afraid, or you're wanting commitment right away, and you're feeling insecure or jealous or worried about your partner and what's going on. Okay, well, we have to realize that we're creating our reality in a moment to moment to moment to moment basis, contingent on how we're responding to the things that are going on around us. So if I'm always responding to everything from a state that is jealous, worried, anxious, insecure, possessive, urgent, then I'm going to see that those responses and that awareness of my reality is going to create more of that. Whereas if I can have the awareness here of saying, okay, I see this in front of me right now. However, I feel empowered. I have really good beliefs about myself. I'm able to feel calm within myself and optimistic, and I know what it is that I want. So I'm going to place my focus over here. And how I'm going to deal with these situations in front of me right now is to trust. You're going to find that when you start to operate through trust and entertaining this desired outcome over the jealousy, insecurity, urgency, then you're going to actually be able to materialize that. And you can do this through so many simple ways. The first thing is you have to really become aware of the thoughts that you're dominantly entertaining, right? The beliefs that you have, the assumptions that you're making. But also, you can also do this verbally too. So I find that a really good way to de-escalate situations that could be potentially triggering is to just flat out say, okay, you know what? I trust you, right? And when you're willing to give versus going into your old story and responding and reacting with urgency or need, when you're able to actually show up and say, you know what, this may not be desirable right now, but I trust everything's going to be okay. And I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to hold this knowing, you're going to see that it really disperses that energy and allows for things to shift much more quickly in your desired direction because you're living in the end. And that's really what living in the end also actually means, especially when it comes to a relationship, is even if I'm not seeing what I desire in front of me right now, I'm going to trust in my ability to achieve it, but I'm also going to trust in my ability to receive it as well from who I want. And this is attractive even outside of just like the manifestational mindset work. You have to see that when you're willing to humble down your insecurities and your fears and your doubts, and you can step into trust and you show up as just trying to be the best version of you and believe in the best of yourself and others, that's going to be reciprocated back to you. So trust is a really important element of being able to persist through challenges. And this also comes down to what it is that you actually want. So I've talked about this in previous videos. You know, with the people that I care about in my reality, I'm pretty much willing to do anything for them because I love them, right? There's other people where I wouldn't be like, really working on myself and shifting the narrative and giving it so much attention because it's not that I don't I don't think they're as important, but it's just a matter of like what is actually important to me, you know? And so what I'm trying to say here is when you really want something, okay, when you really want to be in a relationship with somebody or you really want to fix something, identifying that want is going to give you the ability to persist through any discord. The other aspect here too is recognizing that you can get what you want. I said this in yesterday's video, or maybe it wasn't yesterday, but the previous video. I want you guys to just entertain the idea that if I want it, I'm going to get it, period. Okay. If I want it, I'm going to get it at some point. Okay. I don't know if it's now or I don't know if it's later. That's irrelevant. If I want it, I'm going to get it, period. Okay. When you can operate that way and you can release the urgency and you can step into trust, you're going to see that that relaxed approach, one, allows for your mental health to be good, but also allows for you to create the solutions. It's very approachable. It's very attractive when you can operate with no urgency and complete trust. Okay. And that's going to draw that out of the people around you. So you have to identify what it is that you want. You have to believe that you can have what you want. And then you have to also trust. And the reason why I brought up the no urgency thing here is because when you know you're going to get what you want, then when undesirable things pop up, you're not going to feel defeated by them. You're going to see it like very temporary. Okay. And this is a really, really important component to success because if every time I get a little hiccup, I think, oh man, this is not going to happen for me. It's over for me now. And I start dwelling in defeated thoughts and I give up on myself and what's important to me, I'm not going to get what I want. But if I can adopt the mindset of, okay, I've identified what I wanted. I know I'm going to get what I want. I'm stable. I'm secure. I'm mature. I am confident. There's no urgency here. I'm going to enjoy this unfolding and I'm going to trust in the good of others. And even if people make mistakes, I'm going to trust that they're going to own up to it and that they would never intentionally want to hurt me. And I'm going to give them the space to explain themselves. And I'm going to be very relaxed about that because that's the type of relationship that I want to. I know I'm going to make mistakes and I would hope somebody would have assumptions about me that I wouldn't want to deliberately hurt them, that it was a mistake. And I would hope that they would give me the chance to explain myself. When you show up that way, that's going to be what you get. You have to be willing to give what you want to experience in order to receive it. And so a lot of the issues that people have is they'll see something undesirable And then they'll make a whole bunch of negative assumptions about whatever this thing is. They'll form a whole perception about it, and then they'll attack the person. Why are you doing this to me? I can't believe this is happening. Oh my God, this is happening again. Versus taking a step back and being like, hold on, let me remember who I am. Let me get my beliefs in alignment. Let me trust what is it that I actually want? Let me trust that I'm going to get that. And let me just observe this and allow it to unfold, holding this, knowing that I'm going to get what I want. That's what trust means. Trust means that I can enjoy myself. I can feel relaxed in the face of challenges. And I know that as I continue to show up, I'm going to get what I want. Okay. And this is really important in your relationships because if every time there's a little tiff or a little argument or a little something going wrong, you're automatically triggered and you're going to the worst case scenario, and then you're reacting to the worst case scenario in your mind and projecting it outwards, you're going to see that that creates that result. So how you respond in a moment to moment basis is either going to move you towards what you want or away from what you want. So yeah, it's all about accountability. And I saw a comment on my channel the other day where somebody said, I don't like how people tell, like in mindset work, how you're always the problem. It's not a matter of looking at it like you're always the problem. It's about recognizing that there's accountability here and there's always going to be growth. And there's always something that you could have done better. Right. And I'm not saying that in a defeated way. I mean, in order to get what you want, you're going to be continually growing. And if something's important to you, you're going to go through the growth process. If it's not important to you, then you're going to give up and you're going to find something else. And that's a decision that you have to make. For me, I would do anything to grow, to be with Adam, the person that I love, to see my mother happy and successful and in the relationship that she deserves, and to also believe in myself and achieve the things that I want to achieve for myself as well too. Are there moments that are difficult? Absolutely. But I have really understood that urgency and fear and insecurity, while it may be tempting to react to things in that state of being sometimes because I'm really feeling it, the ramifications of it and the byproduct of giving into those feelings that are not what I want to experience is not worth it. Because at the end of the day, all I want is connection. All I want is to love the people that are around me and connect with them. And a lot of the times there's just all this irrelevant bullshit that's popping up that just plays on your fears and your insecurities, and it actually deteriorates your ability to connect with somebody. But when you can have no urgency and you can trust and you can be like, you know what, I'm going to get what I want. It's going to be okay. Then you stop reacting to all of these things and you begin to feel really good within yourself and happy with yourself and realizing, okay, if it's not happening right now, it's going to happen. So I don't need to respond to this. I can trust that it's going to be okay. And that creates the door and the experience for it to be okay. Versus burning bridges and reacting and yelling and getting into these toxic situations, you have to really realize what is worth my response and what is not worth my response. And maybe right now I just need to step into trust and allow for this to unfold. And if there are mistakes that get made, okay, we can talk about it. But I'm going to believe that nobody is intentionally wanting to harm me. And I'm going to believe that everything is going to turn out in the healthiest, most cohesive fashion. And when you can align your awareness that way and genuinely live there and show up for yourself, you're going to see other people show up for you too. Okay. So I hope today's video gave you some encouragement to see how you can adjust yourself and realize that there is no urgency. Oh, and I'm going to talk about one last thing when it comes to urgency, because I did see another comment on my channel about time. And like, if you want to have kids, obviously there are some things that have a time urgency to it, right? But the thing here that you have to realize is, although some things may have a time urgency, if I allow that to become my focus, one, I'm not trusting, I'm not believing that I'm going to get what I want. And two, it's throwing my feeling state off. So this is where you have to see that it literally is an adjustment in how you're operating. If I feel really, really urgent about something, then I'm going to be pushing for it. I'm going to be desperate for it. I'm going to be needing it, and I'm going to repel that experience from me. But if you can have the awareness to say, okay, I understand that there is some time here, but I need to operate in a way that is confident, that is trusting, that is knowing, that feels like I can get what I want, which means relaxed. That operating that way is going to draw that experience to you. So you have to see when it comes to time urgency, it really comes down to, do you actually believe you can get what you want? Because if you actually believe that you can get what you want, and if you've seen the evidences of your thoughts creating, and you know that manifestation works, then there's really no reason for you to feel urgent. The only reason you're feeling urgent is because you're not believing that you can get what you want, and you're giving into your doubts and your fears, which is going to repel it from you. It's counterproductive. It's irrational. If I want something, then having thoughts and focusing on thoughts of not having it is irrational. It doesn't make sense. So, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but you need to step in with yourself and say, hold on, what am I doing right now? Because I can get what I want. Is my approach actually going to lead me towards that? That's where you have to be very mindful of what you're allowing yourself to entertain and how you're influencing yourself. And if you are feeling a lot of urgency right now, and it's very difficult for you to believe that you can get what you want or to change your awareness on something, you need to work on your beliefs. That means you need to get your confidence in alignment. You need to see that you are able and capable of achieving anything that you want, that you're worthy and you're deserving. And you need to relax into those beliefs with a pleasant expectation and doing things and influencing yourself in a way that elicits a state of being that is dominantly joyful, dominantly confident, that is dominantly believing in yourself. And I say dominantly purposefully because you're going to have emotions. It's impossible. It is, I don't want to say impossible. It's unrealistic to expect yourself to be confident and happy and joyful all of the time. But you have to have a level of awareness. You have to trust and believe that even in those moments, I'm going to be able to pick myself up. And I do actually feel confident and joyful most of the time. And I know how to get myself back to that place, which all comes down to trusting yourself. Once you trust yourself, you're going to be able to trust others. Because I think the other aspect of this here too is, if I trust myself and I feel good within myself, then my other relationships in my life are just here for enjoyment, right? And so if something's kind of going wrong here, then I can come back to myself and soothe myself and hold a vision and a knowing and trust that that's going to materialize, which leads it in that direction. Versus when you're not trusting yourself and you're not regulated here, then how everybody else is showing up is going to really affect you. And you're going to need them to change for you to feel better. It needs to be the other way around. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be the change that inspires the change out here. Okay. Alrighty. I love you all so much. You can get anything that you want. There's no urgency. You just need to get your beliefs in alignment, soothe yourself, step into confidence, hold a vision, and trust in the unfolding and allow it to unfold. Allow it to unfold. If you're getting movement, if you're seeing things shifting in your reality, there should be no urgency. You should see, oh, I've been implementing these things and people and everything is starting to show up and respond to me differently. It's working. Okay, let me keep doing what I'm doing. Pleasantly expecting. I know as I consistently show up this way, I'm going to get a result. The reason why I say this is because the moment you allow yourself to give into urgency and you're not trusting, you're going to start to mess things up unconsciously. You're going to start creating irrelevant fights. You're going to start doing things that are awkward. You're going to start creating like tension or walls around yourself that just really don't work towards what you want. So I hope today's video on trust really shows you the importance of, in order to get what you want, you have to be willing to give it. So if I want to change the circumstances in my reality, I have to give it to myself, but then I also have to be willing to say, okay, maybe this person hurt me before, but I'm going to trust them because I need to trust them and give what I want to experience in order to receive it, right? Or in your business, I'm going to trust that taking this risk with myself is going to lead to a desired result. Because if I'm not taking risks on myself, how are people going to take risks and invest in me? It's all about what you're being, and you have to fearlessly do it. You don't have time to live in your fears. You need to decide what it is that you want, reinforce your beliefs and your confidence, and then trust in your ability to achieve it with no urgency. If you can apply those four things, you're going to be successful. Again, though, this comes down to, what do you want? Because if you want something, you're going to be willing to do this each day, and you're not going to feel victimized by it or upset. I've been doing all this work. How come I'm not getting what I want? You're going to say, okay, all right, it's just, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I believe, I believe, I believe. Sometimes it does get frustrating, but when you do actually get what you want, you look back and you say it was worth it all. And that's the journey. Okay. That's the reward of going after your dreams. So relax into that. Know that you got this. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.